na manilbihan o manungkulan bilang pangalawang Pangulo after nakita natin itong mga ebidensyang inilatag na ito. Always state that the prosecution panel, the prosecution team is prepared to do their direct examination sa mga witnesses at mga ebidensyang inilatag natin. So kahit sinong umattend, wala naman hong epekto yan sa pag-conduct ng direct examination doon sa ating mga witnesses. Sa aking palagay, mas makakabuti na umattend ang ating pangalawang Pangulo nang sa ganon, marinig natin kung ano ang sagot doon sa mga aligasyon na inailatag dito sa Articles of Impeachment na inihain ng ating House of Representatives.
Ako idadagdag ko lang, it's not so much on the presentation of the case of the prosecution. It's her owning to her narrative that she is not guilty of all these charges. And the people deserve to know from her the truth. At the very least, denying all these allegations. So, hindi doon sa prosecution or mayroon bang epekto sa prosecution. Ito yung matagal ng panawagan ng taong bayan na pumunta siya kasi this is her trial. At marinig sa kanya from her kung ano yung mga kasagutan nila dito sa kaso na pinipresenta against her ng prosecution.
Yes, maybe just to add a little bit to that. Diba? Again, regardless of who will be there, the respondent or anyone else, the strategy of the prosecution remains the same, that we will present evidence in a proper and efficient and effective manner. Now, if it will have any effect in the presence of the Vice President, if at all, maybe ito yung not on the strategy of the prosecution in presenting any of her witnesses. But at the very least, this will show that she's finally heeding the call of the people, asking her to show respect to the constitutional process and to the impeachment court by facing these charges in person and letting the people hear how she will answer these serious allegations.
So sa makatwid po, safe to say, walang magiging intimidation. Hindi kayo may intimidate kahit na may presence, kahit na dumalo po si VP.
Ako magpapasalamat ako siguro. Thank you nakadalo ka sa trial of the century. Malaking bagay po na nandito kayo kasi matagal na po itong inaabangan saka nasa tamang forum na po tayo para masagot yung mga katanungan at saka mga allegations. So, thank you po, ma'am. Salamat.
Nobody gets intimidated. Nobody gets intimidated. Ang pinag-uusapan dito yung proseso ng trial, yung pananagutan ng trial. So, nobody is being tried to be scared of. Kasi ang pinag-uusapan po nito, paano ilatag ang proseso, paano ilatag ang kaso, paano sagutin ang kaso. Siya naman po yung nagsasalita from the very start na ready na po sila sumagot ng kaso. So we take that as a sign that she will take her case, her trial seriously by attending in the coming days sana.
Sorry. Last na lang po, Diaz pa, may comment ka na lang dun sa sinabi ni Secretary Bantog na parang nag-request po yata yung defense na magpasok ng appliances and other equipment po. Nung bumisita po si Attorney Zulaika Lopez here last week.
Hindi naman bago yun sa amin kasi doon pa lang sa hearing sa House noon may dala rin sila mga sariling baon nila saka supplies. So baka may mga specifications siguro sila na kailangan. Saka baka minsan kasi pag mahilig ka sa mga iba-ibang klaseng kape, medyo mas particular ka sa lasa ng kape. Oo. May mga ganun kasi na parang they function better with good coffee. Siyempre, kami naman ni Kong Sia, 3-in-1 lang kami. Okay na. So, more on admin naman yung mga sinabi ni Sec Bantog. So, baka yun lang yung mga More on specifics lang. If ever they decide to attend or bless us with their presence.
Good morning po, sirs. Na-file na po ba ng prosecution yung request to subpoena the Vice President?
I don't think we've filed it at this time, not yet.
Within the week po kaya, sir? Do you have a timeline?
Well, as we've stated before, no, if and when she will be called as a witness by the prosecution, di ba? And again, not preempting the action that the impeachment court may take on this matter. No? It's quite novel. I'm sure magkakaroon ng question dyan in the first place. Can she be called by the prosecution as a witness? No, because well, technically this is not a criminal case, so she's not an accused and she's a respondent. No? So yung absolute right against self-incrimination, no, you cannot invoke this to even take the stand. But again, let's see how the impeachment court will act on it. But magiging relevant naman ho kasi no, yung testimony niya, not just with respect to threats, if ever, no, it will be relevant with respect to all of the articles of her impeachment. So, under deliberation naman ho yan, no, pwede naman hong could be possible na for this article or for the last one. So, let's see. Ho.
Sir, ano pong ina-expect natin this afternoon?
Well, ang ina-expect natin ay yung ipapakilala ulit ng ating prosecution panel yung aming mga inilistang mga witnesses nang sa ganon ay mabigyan ng tibay at mapagtibay yung earlier testimony na ginawa na aming first witness, si John Mark Calilong. Just to be clear about this, no, itong proseso kasing ginagawa natin, ay yung unang 3 araw ay nakita na ho no yung ating proseso na umaandar. Everybody heard the testimony of John Mark Calilong, and for the prosecution we feel that it was a competent statement made by the expert witness no on the authentication. In fact, hindi nga din ito dininay no nung kabilang panig. Na nagpapatunay na totoo, authentic itong video ito. Ngayon, inaasahan natin na para mas mapalakas at mapatibay pa no yung mga statements that John Mark Calilong made during the time that he was being examined by both panels. Ito ngayon ay magbibigay ng mas matibay na puwersa. Bakit? Ang resulta ng investigation maaaring ilabas, no? Ano ba yung mga pamantayan kung bakit nagkaroon ng investigation? Pangatlo, syempre, sino itong magbibigay ng testimonya para mapalakas ang statements na binigay ni John Mark Calilong? So, this is now moving forward. Hindi na ito yung unang ebidensyang inilatag. May bago tayong ebidensyang inilatag sa pamamagitan ng statements nitong ating mga bagong witnesses.
If I can just add something quickly. So, just to recap, in the first week of the trial, no, when we presented the NBI agent who authenticated the video, no, again, as mentioned, maliwanag na ho dito. First, yung authenticity. Although at first, it seemed that they were trying to question his credentials and question the authenticity of the video. But later on, they conceded its authenticity by using the very same video, no, in their cross-examination. At we would also want to point out, maalala ho natin, mismong abogado na ho, no, ng respondent na umamin, no, na ginawa niya ho itong statement na to. Just to be accurate, when asked by Senator Risa Hontiveros, the question, sinasabi ba ng defense na ang threats ay prompted ng detention ni Zulaika Lopez? Answer, yes, Your Honor. In other words, wala nang question, no, maliwanag na sinabi talaga itong threats na to. Ngayon, ito hong susunod na witness namin, ilalatag naman ho niya ano yung mga investigasyon na ginawa ng NBI kaugnay ho dito sa mga pagbabanta na ginawa ho ng respondent.
Dadagdag ko lang doon, I think the prosecution case is being built one piece at a time. One evidence at a time. So ito po yung tatahi doon sa naging pahayag nung last week ni Mr. Calilong. No? Ang gusto nating ipahiwatig, hindi lang po sa korte, pero sa ating taong bayan, buong picture. Kung buong picture na yon, kung saan yung nagbanta nga ang Vice Presidente. I think clear na yon yung pagbabanta. Last week, hindi lang yon na yung nababasa natin, napapanood natin sa YouTube. Ito na ay isang official na na-entry ng ebidensya sa korte. So, babigyan po ng konteksto at papaliwanag sa atin itong susunod na magiging witness para yung taong bayan mabigyan ng kumpletong larawan kung ano po yung naging investigasyon, ano po yung naging resulta ng investigasyon. So, this is part of the piece by piece na ginagawa po ng prosecution panel para yung continuity ng pagtatahi ng kaso nila ay ma-establish po natin dito sa Article 4.
Dagdagan ko lang din ulit yung sinabi ni Congressman Adjong. No? Yung unang linggo, nakita natin na naipakita, nailatag ang ebidensya. At ito naman ay pinatunayan na authentic na ebidensya kahit na ng kabilang panig. No? Ngayong linggong ito, we will have to move forward by establishing whether the Vice President is fit to be in the office or not. No? Hindi ito parang criminal case na kung saan yung mga elements of the crime ay mapapatunayan sa korte at pagka ito'y napatunayan, ikay makukulong. Ito ho, walang kulong. This process, this impeachment process, walang kulong. Kundi yung pagtatanggal lamang sa opisina. Kasi ang malaking tanong, ikaw ba ay karapat dapat na manilbihan o manungkulan bilang pangalawang Pangulo after nakita natin itong mga ebidensyang inilatag na ito?
Pwede ako magsalita? Okay lang. Hindi, siguro to cap naman po. Siyempre marami po talagang tanong ang media parang about what do you predict, ano po sa palagay nyo, ano yung mga pasabog sa susunod. Gusto nyo ba ng spoiler? Yes. Ang spoiler lang kasi na pwede kong ibigay, magiging consistent lagi ang prosecution panel, ang prosecutors, no? Sigurado yan na nakahanda at mas maingay ang ebidensya sa kahit anumang ingay sa palibot ng ating impeachment. So, consistency siguro ang magiging tema sa kalakas ng ebidensya ng buong impeachment trial na to. Thank you.
Good morning, sirs. Milky Rigonan, DCRH. As not to preempt the statement of Attorney Lotok this afternoon, pero bang possibility, sir, na baka mabanggit yung ginawang investigasyon ng NBI to identify the assassin or yung kinausap ni Vice President Sara Duterte?
Well, sure you'll understand we can't go into the specifics at this time because this is covered by the sub judice rule. But what we can share is what we've stated in our pre-trial brief with regard to the purpose of the testimony. So ito ho yung investigation, interagency investigation conducted by the NBI in relation to these threats, as well as the criminal actions filed by the NBI because of them.
Follow-up lang, sir, doon sa request ng defense panel. Siguro si Compound na lang magsagot. Kasi kung yung defense panel, sir, merong request kay Attorney Bantug to bring some mga coffee o kung ano man. Sa prosecution ba, meron din po tayong request?
And kung may dala na siguro silang kape, baka pwede rin kami kape sa kanila. Kasi si Joel Chua, dinadalahan niya kami ng kape. Ay, ng hopya kada hearing natin. Yung Master's Hopya. Masarap yun sa... old school sa Binondo. Nagre-request nga ako today, siopaw naman sana para maiba. Chicken siopaw kasi Muslim si Kong Zia . Siguro maganda rin na may, di ba, iba pag masarap din yung kape eh. Parang, it perks you up, di ba? Di ba? Ako kanina nagkape ako. Cold brew with oat milk. Sarap. Healthy. Sarap, sarap. Masarap siya. Sana kung may sobra sila, bigyan nila kami. Kanina lang yun. Pero, siyempre nakaharap kayo, kailangan medyo mas social ng konti yung ininom ko, di ba? Pero kung kami-kami lang yun, kopi ko.
Hi, Kongs and Attorney. Good morning po. According to Congresswoman Zamora, sa isang interview rin po, sinabi niya na kailangan na raw po mapag-usapan, kailangan na raw po dapat maresolba ang threshold sa Korte Suprema as soon as possible before pa lumapit yung botohan ng mga senator judges natin. Pero nilinaw naman niya na hindi naman lang daw prosekusyon ang pwedeng lumapit sa Supreme Court, kundi anyone can do it. However, do we share the same sentiments po? Kailangan po bang matapos na, final na kung ilan talaga yung boto?
Well, at this time, our position on this has been consistent from the very start. No, we don't engage in vote counting. No? At the end of the day, ang priority namin dito is to establish an airtight case. Siguraduhin natin ang kaso natin. This will be backed by solid evidence. Para pagtapos ho ng paglilitis na to, regardless kung ano ho yung magiging final, no, na interpretation ng 2/3 threshold, makukuha ho natin yung numero na yan. So yan ho ang priority ng prosecution from the start, and it remains to be our priority until now. So, but of course, we respect the statement given by the presiding officer, that this matter could be taken up to the Supreme Court by any interested person. But insofar as the prosecution is concerned, nakatutok ho kami dito sa paglilitis na to at paglalatag ho ng aming ebidensya.
Dadagdag ko lang. I think yung issue ng threshold, it's an indication how important this impeachment trial to the public is. Kasi narinig natin yung opinion, samut-saring opinion from the legal community. Hindi po ito nag-emanate from the prosecution itself. It came out during the first discussion nung na-ensure na meron ng transmittal ng impeachment complaints sa Senado. With the current setup, with the current membership now of the Senate, kasi alam naman po natin, iba sa ating kanilang mga kasamahan ay facing individual legal challenges. No? So ito'y indikasyon na talagang taong bayan ay gusto nilang umunsad itong trial na to by making sure that whatever is or would be the threshold, it would render the Senate responsive to the current situation that they're in right now insofar as the membership is concerned. Nagpapakita lang ito gaano kaimportante itong Senado at yung taong bayan na gusto nilang matapos yung proseso na walang magiging hadlang or legal na problema pagdating dun sa punto na sila na ang korte ay magbibigay na ng kanilang judgment.
Well, maraming schools of thought, maraming opinion na lumalabas tungkol dito sa threshold na ito. And the prosecution is not involved in the political arithmetic, so to speak. Ayaw natin yan dahil hindi pa naman siguro panahon. But if anyone raises this before the Supreme Court, then it's a welcome development. Whatever the decision of the court will be, of course, the prosecution panel will respect that. Again, I'd like to emphasize that we're not involved in political arithmetic or anumang calculations meron yan. What the prosecution team is focused on is one, ilatag ang ebidensya, ipahayag ang ebidensya sa relatable na pamamaraan na kung saan maintindihan ng ating mga kababayan. Pangatlo, ipakita yung importansya nitong mekanismong ito na sinasabi nating accountability mechanism. Ito yung very important na dapat naintindihan ng ating mga kababayan. So again, we're not involved in the calculations, whatever number there is. We're not involved in political arithmetic. What we intend to do is just ilatag itong ebidensya, pagtibayin, palakasin ang ebidensya tungkol dun sa aligasyon na nakasaad sa articles of impeachment.
Some members of the prosecution na sinasabi po nila, question, I mean, for them, dapat ibaba yung threshold, especially Congressman Luistro and Congressman Zamora. According to Congressman Zamora sa isang interview nung isang araw, naniniwala siya na movable yung 16. Are all prosecutors po have the same opinion with the threshold?
I think they made it clear when they give these statements that these are their own personal opinion, no, and not necessarily reflective of the official position of the prosecution panel as a whole. No? So, again, tulad ho ng sinabi ni former Congressman Ace Barber, so may dalawa ho kasing schools of thoughts dyan, no? Meron isa yung restrictive, no, na sinasabi, it has to be just 16. Meron naman ho yung mas functional, no, na interpretation, which is kailangan mong tignan din yan, no, na pag sinabi mong two-thirds of the Senate, members of the Senate, titignan mo lang kung sino yung mga functioning members, no? Kung hindi naman nakapag-participate in the first place, didn't even take their oath or didn't hear the evidence, how can their vote be considered? So, lahat naman yan, valid points yan. But at the end of the day, ang prosecution right now, again, we're not focused on that. So, we have not taken any official step with respect to this matter. Kami, nananatili ho. Yung focus natin nandito ho sa paglilitis na to. At tutuloy-tuloy ho natin, siguraduhin na gugulo yung proseso at maglalatag ho kami ng ebidensya dito.
Last na lang po question from me. Sa isang interview rin po, sinabi naman ni Attorney Michael Powan, ang ibig sabihin daw po ng bloodbath na sinabi ni VP Sara ay siya raw po yung magiging duguan sa nangyayaring impeachment trial. Pero nga sabi niya, she will remain unbowed. Based on our evidence po, sa tingin niyo ba magiging sugatan at duguan si VP Sara?
Never po na intention ng prosecution na magkaroon ng sakitan. Ang intention po talaga ng prosecution ay pananagutan. Hindi ho namin alam kung saan nanggagaling itong dugo na parati po nilang ginagamit sa kanilang mga statement.
Alright, next. Hi po, good morning po. Marian from TV5. May we confirm lang po yung request ni NBI Director Melvin Matibag. He has asked daw po the prosecution panel to move his court appearance to an earlier date. Before July 20 sana. Kasi may dadaluhan daw po siyang summit in Thailand from July 21 to 22. And ano po ang sagot ng prosecution regarding this?
Yes, we received that yesterday, the notice sent by Director Matibag. So, we're currently discussing how we could accommodate his request, no? Para, of course, we need to consider his schedule as well. So, maybe we will see if in the hearing this afternoon, this is already something that we will raise to the court. No? Ang halaga ho dito, hindi naman sorpresa, no, na magbibigay ng testimonya si Director Matibag na sabi namin ho ito nung matagal na panahon na. So kung kakailanganin ho na magkaroon ng konting adjustment dun sa order of witnesses na pag-present namin, no, and ho yung under deliberation at maaaring raise ho namin ito sa impeachment court sa pagdinig ngayong hapon.
Sige. I understand, sabi rin po ni Congresswoman Zamora, I think during the weekend press con, ready daw po yung prosecution to present at least 2 witnesses a day.
Yes, but again, we will see. Siyempre, depende ho yan, no, on a per witness basis. Depende ho kung gaano katagal ang abutin, no, nung sa kanyang direct examination, cross-examination, kung papayagan ho, no, na or if necessary, magkakonduct pa kami ng redirect, sila din, pwede pang mag-recross. And makita din naman natin, minsan nagkakaroon din ho ng mga debate about some legal issues, no, before the witness takes the stand or minsan during, no. So, mahirap pong pangunahan. But if there's enough time, then we can do that.
Last na lang po, can we say na we're winning na po itong article ng grave threats? Lalo na first, the defense cannot even say that the VP is innocent. And second po, even Kong Ridon and Kong Luistro said that they've already admitted the threat of the VP against the President. Only that it is justified. So, may pag-amin na po ng pagbabanta. Can we say na we're winning already this case po?
Maybe ako mauna. Well, first of all, are we winning? Ultimately, that's a decision that the Constitution has given to the Senate sitting as an impeachment court to make. So hindi ho namin papangunahan. Ano? But if you'll ask us, what we can say is we've achieved our goal so far, which is first, di ba, yung present this video where these threats were made and prove its authenticity. We've done that. No? Sinisiguraduhin din natin. Una, in the first place, is magtuloy-tuloy itong paglilitis na to. Ano? We've also achieved that. So, we're pleased no, with how it has unfolded so far at tutuloy-tuloy ho natin ito na magpresenta pa ng additional evidence para lalong pagtibayan itong kaso ng grave threats and all other articles of impeachment.
Dadagdagan ko lang yung konteksto ng sinabi ni Attorney Jay. No? Una, tingnan natin yung video. Yung pagbabanta, hindi ho ito yung ordinaryo na pagpalagay natin, assuming without conceding na mayroon silang sinasabing conditional threat. No? Pero yung normal naman na may naririnig tayo kasi ang premise nila is nagalit. Diba? Yun ang justification nila. Hindi ho nila na-refute yung ebidensya na yun. Rather, they provided justification kung bakit daw ganon ang naging pananalita ng Vice Presidente. Tingnan po natin yung video na yun. No? Hindi po yung usual na pagbabanta ang naririnig natin. Halimbawa, sa Bisaya pa, kasi Bisaya kami ni Chairman Ace, na bantay lang ka, kay nakoy buhaton nimo kay, di ba, nasukok ko. Hindi ganun eh. Yung narinig po natin sa video na yon, sinabi niya, kinausap niya ang lalaki, may kinausap siya, meron siyang sinabi na pag may mangyari sa akin, patayin mo si Presidente, ang unang ginang, ang former Speaker of the House, huwag kang titigil hanggat di mo to magawa. So it was not really a threat kung akong tatanungin mo. She described a meeting wherein she requested or she ordered someone to do her bidding to kill these individuals. So it was not just the usual, sabihin natin, pagbabanta. Dinescribe niya yung paraan kung paano to gagawin. So, malaki po yung difference nun, no? Ngayon, dadagdag ko lang po. Alam po natin kumbaga, ayaw natin marinig yung pagbabanta, maski na lang sa ating mga anak. Hindi natin gusto yon sa ating mga katrabaho. Ngayon, uso ang pickleball. Ayaw mong marinig sa mga kalaro mo sa pickleball na magbanta, di ba? Kung ayaw niyong marinig yon, the more na ayaw niyo dapat marinig sa mga halal na opisyal. Mag-demand kayo ng ethical standard na hindi basta-basta dahil galit na tao na gawing justification ito na magbanta. Lalong-lalo na kung ang isang nagbabanta ay matataas na opisyal halal ng gobyerno.
Well, a threat is a threat. Kahit anong angulo mo tingnan yan, pagbabanta yan. Ang tanong na lang dito, ito ba ay dapat ginagawa ng isang mataas na opisyal ng gobyerno? Hindi ba dapat kapag mataas ang pwesto mo sa gobyerno, hindi ba dapat mas mataas yung panuntunan? Mas mataas yung standards of you being in that office, di ba? So, ikaw ay role model, no? Ikaw ay inelect, binigyan ng tiwala. So dahil sa pagbaba, nawala yung tiwalang yun. So yan ang gusto nating patunayan. Kaya tayo nandito sa impeachment trial. Wala akong makukulong dito. Ito ay proseso na kung saan tinitest yung fitness ng ating mga opisyal sa gobyerno. Kung karapat dapat ba silang manatili sa kanilang pwesto. Yan po ang malinaw, no? Yan po ang malinaw na sinasabi ng ating prosesong ito at nakasaad sa ating saligang batas. So again, it's not really the issue of whether may conditional ba yung threat na yan. Bakit kailangan magkaroon ng condition yung threat? Hindi naman iba yan doon sa sinasabing pagbabanta. Diba? Kapag ka sinabing ikaw, pagka hindi mo ako binayaran ng utang mo, papatayin kita. Gusto ba nating naririnig yun? Not anyone would be able to accept the fact na merong nagbabanta sa iyo. Kasi sigurado, kahit tayo mga pagka binantaan tayo, alam nga namang wala tayong reaksyon. Diba? Ngayon, ang tanong, yung bang pagbibigay ng pagbabanta ng ating pangalawang Pangulo, acceptable ba yan sa ating mga kababayan? Yun lang ang gusto nating ipunto dito.
Sir, follow up lang dun sa threats kasi napag-usapan na lang dun yung threats. Over the weekend, parang yung mga supporters ni VP Sara Duterte, kinukumpara nila itong issue ng grave threats dun sa ginawang threats din daw ni Chris Aquino sa isang abogado na nakaaway niya before. Parang ang sinasabi nila, parang bakit yun daw, parang magkaiba yung pagtingin daw ng mga tao doon na parang pinagbantaan din naman daw ni Chris Aquino yung abogado. Bakit daw si VP Sara Duterte parang pinoprosecute ng mas malala? Any thoughts po?
Well, ako, hindi ko alam kung ano yung klaseng pagbabanta. Pero iba yung pagbabanta na papatayin. Diba? Iba yung pagbabanta sa pagpatay. Mas pwede kang magbanta na sabihin mo lang na, okay, pakukulong kita. Pero pag sinabi mo, ipapapatay kita, whatever it is, whether by sinasabing kondisyon o wala, it's still pagbabanta. At walang ibang dapat meaning yun.
Sir, parang ang nasabi po ni Chris Aquino before dun sa abogado, do not return home because you would be dead. Parang maybe Attorney J.
Sige. Difficult to comment on that because I'm not really aware of the words given by Ms. Aquino. No? But pwede kong sabihin, ang mas tama ho sigurong ikumpara natin ay yung pagbabantang ginawa ng isang simpleng public school teacher, no? Nung tinakot ho during the previous administration yung presidente nung panahon na yun, no? Maalala natin ang sinabi ho niya doon, kung sinong makakapagpapatay sa presidente, bibigyan niya ng 50 million pesos. Obviously, ang public school teacher, wala ho siyang kakayahan na magbayad ng 50 million pesos na to. Pero alam ho natin, naging swift ang action ng law enforcement dito. Hinuli siya, kinasuhan siya. Doon ho natin ikumpara. Ngayon, ito hong nagbigay ng threat na ito noon, simpleng public school teacher, ang pinag-uusapan ho natin dito, ang nagbigay nitong pagbabanta na to at pag-amin na meron ng kasunduan sa isang mamamatay tao nanggaling ito sa pangalawang pinakamataas, pangalawang pinakamakapangyarihan, no, na public official ng ating gobyerno. So, yan ho ang magandang comparison na tignan ho natin dyan.
Kailangan ho natin, again, I have to reiterate, hindi lang ito pagbabanta lang ng sinabi. Dinescribe niya yung paano yung naging usapan. So hindi lang talaga siya, meron talagang willingness. And if you're talking about capacity, that already consummated, that already makes her capable because the agreement was already done. So she is already that capable of ordering this hitman to do her bidding. Hindi lang yung pagbabanta na basta-basta lang. Ito ay dinescribe niya yung meeting na yon at yung agreement na yon.
Sir, my second question po, without revealing without going too much into the merits and the strategy of the prosecution, ano po bang relevance ng testimony ni Attorney Zulaika Lopez sa Article 4? Meron po ba kayong balak i-pursue na line of questioning for her?
Again, just in broad strokes, no, the defense, they pointed out certain portions of the video showing Attorney Zulaika, meaning she was there when these utterances were made. So, maliwanag naman, no, kung pag pinatawag siya as witness, magiging relevant ang testimony niya dahil nandun din ho siya dun sa same room, same place, kung kailan ho ito ginawa itong mga pananakot at pagbabanta.
Sir, good afternoon po. Morning, Dwight De Leon pa from Rappler. Mga sirs, would just like to ask, how is the prosecution preparing for the oral arguments on the issue of the BIR box on Wednesday? Sinabihan na po ba kayo ng impeachment court how it will go exactly? Will it happen during the trial itself, or will it be a separate meeting?
Well, we have not yet received any particular directives or instructions regarding the oral arguments, no. But most probably it will be done at the start before we call our witness for that day. And as regards our preparation, these are legal issues that we've anticipated from the start. Because again, we know that their strategy is consistent from the start. When even when the proceedings were still before the House of Representatives, and then consistent with their stance and when they filed an answer, which is to prevent us from presenting evidence, no, in support of the articles of impeachment. So itong mga issues na to, no, pinaghahanda na natin yan, no, but of course patuloy pa rin naman yung paghahanda in view of the oral arguments to be held this Wednesday.
Tama ba, sir? The prosecution and also the defense are required to submit a memorandum for each party. Nag-submit na po ba kayo?
That will be filed today.
But not yet, as of the moment.
Not yet.
Okay. But will it be filed during the impeachment court? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Okay pa. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Sir, pwede niyo po ba kaming i-inform kung ano lang yung highlights ng memorandum na i-file po ninyo within today? For example, yung at least yung mga na-mention na when it comes to the yung AMLC, bank records, and tax records.
Maybe it will be better if we will wait for the parties to file their respective memoranda, and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Okay, sir. Dito naman sa i-raise po ninyo this afternoon regarding NBI Director Matibag, will you raise na this week na po siya mag-testify or after next week na?
Well, the request is as much as possible allow him to testify, before he leaves for his trip, because baka possible meron din siya engagements after that, no. So again, this is under deliberation. We'll see, if there's already a need to raise it during the hearing this afternoon. Basta importante lang naman dyan, gusto natin siguraduhin na mabigyan siya ng pagkakataon, to take the stand, para mabigyan niya yung relevant and material testimony that we're expecting from him.
Kaano po kahalaga yung na makatestify si NBI Director Matibag?
Well, same as well our other listed witnesses, importanteng sa kanya because he will testify on the investigation conducted by the NBI, in relation to the threats. So I'm sure you'll understand that that's the extent that I can discuss with you right now. But once he takes the stand, we could discuss it at length.
It seems there are no other questions. So, any member of the panel? Please.
How long po kaya tatagal itong talakayan for this Article 4 alone? And how many witnesses for Article 4?
For the grave threats, we were given 11 days to present witnesses. No, but we hear the sentiment of some of the senator judges, that it would be better to read the proceedings, at kami din naman, gusto din naman namin tong matapos sa lalong madaling panahon. Ayaw na naman namin tong patagalin unnecessarily, but of course without sacrificing our ability to properly, efficiently, and effectively present evidence. But bawat pagkatapos namin magpresenta ng testigo na ebidensya, nagkakaroon kami lagi ng assessment para makita ano na ang mga importanteng bagay na natalakay ng aming witness at ano pa ang kinakailangan. So, we will make adjustments. Maaari yung mga ibang witnesses na listed sa aming pre-trial brief ay hindi na namin patawag kung ang intended testimony nila ay natalakay na ng mga naunang testigo. Dahil yan naman ang goal din natin, kung maaaring mas mapaiksi at mapabilis natin itong paglilitis na to, we will try to do that.
Pero out of 60 po, ilan po yung prepared na for that?
11 trial dates for grave threats, no? So far, we've just presented one. We'll be presented another one today. So, as we've stated, no, titignan natin. We'll make the necessary adjustments kung pwedeng hindi na namin ipatawag yung mga ibang testigo na nalista namin para mas mapabilis ho ito.
Attorney Tolosa, follow up lang po sa question ni Ate Marian. Hoping ba kayo na hindi kayo aabot ng Pasko or bagong taon, ito pong impeachment trial? Kasi sabi po ni Senator Ping Lacson, kapag hindi po binago or hindi pinabilis yung pong trial, magpapasko po talaga kayo na may hirang paglilitis. Thank you po.
We'll do our part, no, in making sure that this could be expedited, no? Again, to the extent reasonably possible. Siyempre, hindi din naman ho usapan ditong pabilisan, no? Importante din ho dito mailatag ng mabuting ebidensya dahil napakaseryoso ho ng pinag-uusapan natin ng mga charges dito. So, but at the same time, we're cognizant of that fact, no? Na gusto natin pare-pareho matapos to ng mas madaling sa mas madaling panahon. So, susubukan ho natin yan, pipilitin ho natin yan.